Mass Root Riders are the most used army composition in Legends, but in today's video, we're going to highlight Bodya's Queen Charge Super Miner, where he used 2 healers in combination with the healer puppet, so make sure you guys stay tuned till the very end to find out how strong this army really is. And to start things off with, here is the very first replay on this double invisibility tower base. Now if we take a look at this army composition, we do notice he only has 2 healers in this army composition because yes, he does have the healer puppet, and it is surprisingly how he utilized this healer puppet, because if you could take a look and notice here, he basically swags the queen ability just to have 3 additional healers populate so that he ends up with a 5 healer queen charge. So really, right off the bat, this army was really very interesting. I guess he is one of the only ones playing with this army composition because it is actually crazy to just being able to swag a queen ability at the very start like he is there. But nonetheless though, he is walking with this queen charge coming in at the very top of the base, taking care of the CC under 2 expos, which is not that much damage after all. So he is going to be able to work around and get his queen to walk towards the eagle and to take advantage of the dead zone to path his queen in. So moving along here, he is utilizing the Barbarian King. Now in terms of the pet he has, he does have the Yak on the King because he has the Phoenix on the Archer Queen. So again, pet combination mainly is going to be focusing on the Queen and the King here, and as far as the World Champion and that Warden, it is going to be that classic one. So moving along, that King is going to be able to clear out this entire 9 o'clock side. In combination, he does have that Skelly spell and then throwing in the RCM, because look at how he is setting this up. He's setting this up to very nicely, so now that his miners is not going to go anywhere but into the middle of the base, and he is utilizing that log launcher super duper nice here because he is going to be able to pop not one invisibility tower but both of those invis. And what he has inside of this log launcher is the mass Valkyries inside. So now as you can take a look, Valkyries, we have Hogs, we have the super miners, we have everything working through the core, and as you can see how stacked this core is, it makes Valkyries even stronger while dealing with this type of core. And he is going to be able to sweep through the entire core with every single one of those troops alive, with the super miners and the valks swagging both of those invisibility spells right there just like that, because this queen charge value got so much. And of course the King and the World Champion clearing the left side, the Queen clearing the top side, nothing else but the middle to work around. So very clean attack here by Bodya, utilizing and swagging that Queen ability at the very start of this attack. He is going to wrap this up with an easy 40 cups. Moving along here, we are going to be taking a look at a box base. Now this one, double rage, and of course 2 singles in Tower Infernos and that monolith right by the tunnel. So obviously a very common one against the Mass Root Rider spam, but nonetheless, again, he is going to be doing the same thing on all of these attacks, and that is swagging that Queen ability to generate 3 healers out of that healer puppet. So again, very critical and crucial that he does focus on this Queen charge here, because the slightest mistake in the Queen dying, that is going to be rip in terms of this attack, because all of this attack mainly worries and relies on is this Queen staying alive. So obviously, if you can notice here, he is spending a good amount of time just to be able to focus and get this set up, because he's trying to move his Queen into that core of the base, into that single and around that monolith. So of course he is going to keep an eye on this Queen, because he knows if he is to lose his Queen ability, that Queen is going to die right through here. So he is going to be freezing and investing majority of the spells. This makes me assume this is why he has 2 invisibility spells in the event he needs to keep his Queen and support that Queen to stay up and moving along. So really nice touch with the frozen arrow and that healer puppet, because this Queen is getting the value. She basically cleared out this entire right side of the base and that 1 rage composition, which is basically enough, because if we take a look at the King now, the King with the siege barrack is going to be able to clear off this entire left side. And yes, the miners and the World Champion Warden push with the healer transitioning to the push makes it even powerful, because all it needs to do is sweep through the middle, because the Queen cleaning the right side, the King clearing the left side, this makes everything push through the middle. And of course he is essentially ending on the Town Hall here, but that is going to be okay, because if you can look at the spell, he still has that Warden ability. He still has that Skelly spell and the Rage spell. He utilizes the Warden ability to protect the World Champion and I believe a couple of those Super Miners. And yep, he is going to have just enough to be able to overwhelm the Town Hall and to collapse and finish the rest of the base, as we still have the Barbarian King working around the base. Because of the Siege Barrack supporting the Barbarian King, it does give this enough push to finish the rest of the base. And of course, having that healer transfer from that Queen dying is a really nice thing, especially on Queen charge attacks. As long as you get the value, you are going to be able to walk away and not have to worry about the attack. So really nice attack here by Bodya with another 40 cups. All right, and we have taken a look at a double invis ring base where both of those invis were in the core. But how about what if those invis were stuck on the flank side? As you can see on both scatter compartment, he has those invisibility towers just like that. But nonetheless, it is not going to stop Bodya, as we've taken a look and seen he utilized a log launcher and of course a siege barrack already. And yes, he does have a log launcher selected again, which I do presume he potentially may utilize it for this queen charge. So obviously a very nice CC pool there, because he is going to be able to manage through that clan castle troop with no issues there. And as you can take a look, he is utilizing a fling flinger now for that bottom compartment Inferno Tower there, because he noticed that it is really free there. He is going to be able to potentially lock down that Eagle artillery if that fling flinger survives that long. So yep, Queen, I presume he's wanting to charge into the monolith, and with the help of the fling flinger on that bottom side, I'm assuming he is going to want to have his miners go through the core of the base, through the town hall, because if we can note, the Queen will be able to take care of the left hand side compartment, with the fling flinger taking care of the right hand side. The miners will have nowhere to go other than the middle of the base. So obviously a really nice touch there with the funnel setup, because this has to be really critical that he has to focus on this queen charge, because if you can look, there is going to be a lot of incoming damage with the monolith there. So he does sacrifice one of his invisibility spells there, and his scatter shot does immediately lock onto his healers, but with the quick reaction of that free spell and to protect the queen and the healers, he is going to be able to lock down this monolith. And as you can take a look, he is not going to wait. He is going to use the king to support the queen, and the miners are going to go directly, as we have predicted, through the middle of the base. So really nice funnel, taking advantage of the free flinger value, and of course with the core not being invisible, he is going to be able to get direct pathing after that set funnel has been set. So really nice touch there. He is going to have the king work on the top side through the world champion scatter shot. He is having that world champion and his miners moving through the core. He does have still a healing spell to utilize. He is not going to utilize it here, because he's just going to let those miners die, as he noticed the scatter shot and all that damage shot and rained down on those miners. So obviously he does have that hog puppet there. He may potentially use the healing on those hogs, which he does. He does have the king ability coming in to finish off the scatter shot, the world champion ability with the hog puppet, and of course that eagle is the last remaining building standing there with just a sliver of health. And yet a really nicely set up attack here, utilizing the fling flinger, taking advantage of it and the dead zone to set up the miner to pat through the core. Wrapping it up, we are going to conclude it on this ring base, which is an invisibility tower and a poison tower. So right off the bat, same as before, he is going to pop that queen ability super early, just so he gets that healer puppet onto that queen. And as you can take a look here, with the help of the frozen arrow, he does not need to utilize an early rage, nor does he need to utilize a headhunter to deal with that queen. So really nice touch with that combination on the queen, because it allows that queen to stay up without having to deal with any additional damage. So moving along, he is going to utilize one freeze on that single Inferno Tower, just so that he can preserve and protect that queen there. He is getting that CC pull fairly early, so under not much damage, and that king is going to be able to take down this enemy king, or not take down, but more so relieve some of that damage off of that king. So he is already pulling that poison spell, but I do believe he is going to want to send his miners at the very top of the base, because with the log launcher help, it is going to not only just trigger that invisibility tower, but as you can see the path of the log, it is going to open those walls so that queen can charge through the core and through the rest of that core of the base, so that the miners can work simultaneously with the queen around the queen so that this queen can go through the core and potentially through that single inferno. So really nicely set up here by Bodya. Because of this queen charge, he is going to get the best and most beneficial value out of this queen charge so that his miners can sweep through around the ring to get through the rest of the base. He is having a lot of spells left because he does have that rage, heal, 2 invis, and of course that skelly spell still intact. He is going to utilize, I believe, a rage here if he wants with the invis to keep that queen alive, and yes he does. He can utilize the skelly spell here to tank that single, and he does just that, just so he can keep his queen alive so he does not run into any time fail, because time would be the only thing that could stop this attack at this point, because he still has a heal, invis, and that world champion ability with the Hall Puppet. He is looking fine for this attack for yet another triple. So really nice attack here again from Bodya. And I want to give a huge thanks to Bodya for allowing us to cover his attacks in High Legends today. Now, I will go ahead and link the army composition down below in the description. So make sure you guys all go check that out and let us know your thoughts on this army. But that'll do it for us today. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe for more contents like this. But until next time, I'll catch you all in the very next one. Ghost out.